A legendary smuggler is forced to return to the life of crime he left behind after his brother-in-law botches a deal with a ruthless drug dealer in Contraband.
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Welcome to Making Hollywood. This is a scene from Contraband.
You were the best of the best, but the proudest day of my life was when you turned legit. You started a family, and you got out of life.
What's going on?
Chris, come home. It's my brother.
I was gonna say that you didn't really have much of a, like, what's the word? You don't pick the same kind of movie. You seem to pick lots of different ones, but you always seem to have some sort of family drama going on in your films. I don't know if that's on purpose.
Certainly something that I can relate to.
Absolutely. I feel like you also have a way about you that you can relate, like everyday people really relate to you. And even though you've been obviously a star for a pretty long time, is that, you know, sort of purposeful?
I don't do anything purposeful other than try to do the right thing and stay out of trouble. You know, I try to pick roles that I would want to see myself in, or I think people would enjoy watching me in, and I try to do things that I can relate to because of some personal connection, and that's pretty much the philosophy behind it. What happened, Andy?
I was running something, and I dumped the package.
When I stopped doing runs, you promised me you're gonna stay out of this.
They're gonna kill me.
They're not gonna kill you.
One of the most interesting things about this film is that you actually produced and starred in, you know, the film that it's based on. So can you talk a little bit about the difference between doing that and then being a director of this one?
Well, of course, obviously, I didn't direct the original, so that's a whole different difference to that. But I developed it and played the lead in it, and it was a great ride. But I always thought it would be, you know, make a great remake and actually more believable.
People at the agency told me I should see it, and if we liked it, then there's a possibility we can get the rights for it. And I absolutely loved it, and I thought, you know what, this would make for a great American movie.
I didn't want to watch it just because I just felt like I didn't want to put, you know, we were making a different movie. This is, for me, something that was important to sort of like build in a new unit of time.
Kind of get a blank slate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We wanted to place it in an environment where it was realistic. You know, a lot of smuggling goes on, and New Orleans is known for that kind of, you know, dark world. Right. And I loved the idea of New Orleans and South America, you know, on a container ship. So it's kind of how it came along.
And he's an actor first,
yeah.
And all the choices that he was making as a director and the direction that he was giving us was spot on. You know, and also giving us the freedom, because I was worried, you know, if he played, you know, that part in the original, I was like, oh, I don't want him trying to compare his performance to mine and doing that whole thing. But no, he wanted me to make my own. I was hoping you understand his family. Maybe we could work something out.
I'll give you 2 weeks. If not, I'm gonna come after the both of you. I'll come asking your wife for it, your kid.
You think you're the only guy with a gun? Have you ever mentioned my wife and my kids again? Oh, done.
How involved were you in the actual development of the characters? Because I know he said once he met you, it was kind of your personality that fed the character.
Yeah, I mean, that's where all the humor comes from, and us, me just riffing and improvising and playing around with people, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we wanted to have those kind of lighter moments and some, you know, a dramatically, you know, intense story. We wanted to have at least a couple of beats of laughter here and there.
Chris Faraday.
Hey.
Back from the dead. Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you.
No drama is complete without humor, I feel like, and I think it's really important to try to find something that might be charming or something that might be interesting in that way. You know, it would be just such a drag to be somebody for 3 months who's just like, right. You know, I don't know how people do that.
Currency? 15 million on 4 stacks. It's like the size of a Mini Cooper. Where are you gonna hide it?
Where is the faith?
Oh, I lost my stripes now. I gotta start from scratch.
And cut.
He's constantly, I imagine, living in the shadow of Chris. It was his best friend, his best buddy, and he has to find his own identity within that friendship. And this is his old friend, and is probably jealous of his wife.
The casting was the most important thing, getting the right people in the right parts. And that was, once we had Ben, and we had Giovanni and Kate and Diego Luna and Lucas Haas, we knew we were in good shape.
Could be big.
Takes money to make money.
Está bueno.
No, it's no bueno.
And you were also producing this film as well, correct?
Yeah.
And I know you've done some independent films yourself, but you guys have some pretty serious, like some of the ship scenes and some of the aerial shots. Like, what was it like putting those things together?
It was pretty easy. You know, we had assembled a great team, and you know, the people of New Orleans, thankfully, in Panama, were very, very helpful when it came to giving us access to everything that we needed. So it wasn't that hard.
Because I've worked in the independent world, you know, we have a lot of ways of getting around that, and you know, some luck played in. You know, we were lucky with the, you know, to get things that didn't look like we were going to get them, and it was really challenging piecing the whole thing together because it has an enormous amount of scenes.
He is very high energy, and I guess that helps keep a crew on their toes. You know, it's important. Energy is the greatest currency we have.
Action.
And then Balthazar just shot so fast. You know, he's not used to spending all this extra time doing nothing and standing around talking at a craft service table. He didn't even know what it was. He was like, get this food out of here. What are you doing? People don't eat? We eat at lunch, come on.
Also putting together Panama and New Orleans, so we only had like 4 days to shoot in Panama. We had to make the whole thing work together. So it's a huge puzzle, the movie.
You set it up. Hey, not too much.
Well, I was amazed. He said you guys shot only 4 days in Panama. I don't know how you got it done. That's amazing to me.
Just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
You know, we just got in the van with the cameras and went. We went to different locations and just started shooting.
Where's my wife? Tell him not to dump it in the water.
You will never find that money.